The outcome of the investigation,
he took bribe.
Ken Ofori Atta, former Minister of Finance. The OSP will recover a total amount of 125 million cedis from SML.
The OSP, what is really stopping you from handing over the dockets?
Adia General press conference. You who say all Jisikabi Amaye.
Abusia, Mammy Samuel Korba, Ibium Emra, Jumadi, so and some bebre. And a coso, oh my gun, and more afternoon. Yenina, a bread I have for fino. Yet do come after say OSP, Special Prosecutor, and in some bebre ever to da. Efa Ken Ofori Atta, and I say SML no Honabusia. And come over break any free on my gun and move back. And come over break so and a gun for AD. Among forces there be woman trusty OSP no. Among forces there be OSP no in the Juma. Oh, yeah, quick one. Yes, uncle, na yes, and 70 na a coba. And simple break anyway, check commander. Edemo info yina ever and what chi Kevin tell us so about dropping information be. I must share no say. And come over break any fretchy, baba quick one. Young Kona senti OSP some non some rania coba and simple break any dear chi.
The outcome of the investigation is that the OSP will charge the following persons with various corruption and corruption related offenses before the end of November 2025. 1. Ken Ofori Atta, former Minister of Finance. 2. Ernest Akori, Chef de Cabinet to Ken Ofori Atta as Minister of Finance. 3. Emmanuel Kofinti, former Commissioner General of Ghana Revenue Authority. 4. Amishadai Owusu-Amoah, former Commissioner General of Ghana Revenue Authority. 5. Isaac Krenzel, former Commissioner of the Customs Division of Ghana Revenue Authority and General Manager of Strategic Mobilization Ghana Limited. 6. Kwejo Damwa, former Commissioner of the Customs Division of Ghana Revenue Authority and Member of Parliament for German South constituency. As part of the process, the OSP will seek to recover the financial loss caused to the Republic from the persons listed above. Also, the OSP will recover a total amount of 125 million cedis from SML by way of a disgorgement of unjust enrichment of overpayment by the return of the benefit of this amount it obtained unfairly at the expense of the Republic. This amount was arrived on two considerations. First, the participation of SML in the public revenue assurance regime was based on largely undeserved automatic payments detached from performance. Second, the figure was adjusted on a quantum meru basis. This is a legal doctrine that developed the English common law as a form of implied contract or quasi-contract to ensure that the person who conferred a benefit on another received compensation, even when no valid contract existed. The courts introduced the doctrine as an equitable remedy to prevent unjust enrichment, recognizing that fairness sometimes required payment even without an enforceable agreement. In the present context, the OSP configured the doctrine in respect of adjusting the fair value of the investments made by SML in pursuance of performing its obligations under the various contracts, even where the contracts were procured unlawfully and even where services were minimally performed or not performed at all, on the back of SML's reasonable expectations created under the various contracts which were awarded to it by high-ranking public officials who represented ostensible authority and statutory and regulatory compliance to that private company. The investments include the setting up and maintenance of two offices by SML, one in Accra and the other in Tema, the hiring of employees, the payment of employees' salaries and attendant statutory payments, the acquisition of vehicles, the acquisition of and installation of ultrasonic meters and automatic tank gauges, and the procurement of a transaction value assessment system, TVAS.
Okay, Commander.
Yeah.
Special Prosecutor,
of course.
OSP,
sure.
And Ghana for Dinkomo. Among forces, Papa Nedman His Excellency John Mahama enkasa we no sa sector no kwanken destroy no na yemfa adwuma ni nyina enhye attorney general sa enkomodi bebre na ekoso Ken Ofori Atta bara yentimi ko US won konko iri Ken Ofori Atta mfane magana
Roger e wo say yeko yenni option bia biem because US for omu hia yen scammers no omu ba ha na omu ne ya ba be ya adwuma bom no mafo mako and say nei yen so hia obi a wadi bone a yen ko ho ne ko fa ne
na bia na OSP aba be gina o Mr. Ken Ofori Atta brofu bebre brofu tintin brofu amementi ase
of course
en wo kan
yeah
ba kwekwan yen nwam e
well the right man na was in the first place na me ncha hwefo na fi yen hwase na eni nkomo
ense SMLD
of course
enioma komu
the right
amanfo so awieska
sika akomo no eni nkomo afiri mu ba no eno ena di ayamhihye bi abeto Ghana for yemu bi so the right in the first place Mr. Ken Ofori Atta sorry to say oye kromfo a okuta bible into hwe ya if it is obey finance minister or parliament akwa budget bia obon white obe start ya na wa quote bible verse obe pon a na wa quote bible verse not knowing say oye kromfo ebata SML no de ma madwe me say Ken Ofori Atta oye kromfo a o share ne krono boss ansana obey finance minister enie according to OSP this statement an investigation of the Babonti. Page 8 of the documents and they say Ken Ofori Atta Nana the position in man as finance minister no 3 weeks and now the SMLD and Krata a shall say bar on board.
Answer SML no ebia obi kwa any man go. Okay. What the bono tofa quick one kitwebi.
Well, the writer a very short one on that. SMLD a dealer finance minister eka hobi Emma, you sign here with GR Ghana Revenue Authority. Say yen petroleum sector no mfan wo hunsem no sikasema air cost nyina no SML foi ene be digit tax no omo ne be monitor sikasem ni bibia sade e be ya obia invade tax obia mfa ye tax sika enyane nti omo na no me in charge of it ye wie kire ene omo de yen mineral sector no enso ekoko bom na chese ye gold hunsem no tax asem nyina no omo ene omo ye ntemnyinafo a omo gigi sade ehu bi awo ECG no sa na wesusu koye ye na at the end of the day ene beto just sika do omo ba gigi no enum no omo ba gi percentage enti say omo gi sika na they make sure say bebre na omo gi dodo aba no ene omo so sika be kosoro nti o so omo gi sika bebre de prayer na omo sika sem kosoro na ade no anko parliament ye wie ya after that the person so amom sika enei in the contract no ekase amom $500 million asat eni aye kase na omo kase sika o magye akọ omo botom eye about 1.4 billion Ghana cedis ya the right sika no omo ntua tax enti wo a wo kọboa ame agege tax every omo a ye ne omo di dwuma ho na yete o percentage ama ono ono no koya sika dodo a wagye no wa invade tax wa ntua ho tax owie ya onsan ni nkrata papa ni experience a na was odidi sa dwuma no nti a lot of loopholes ena na edidem ena enu achi and fair due processing and parliament and fair PPA ena Mr. Ken Ofori Atta oye omo patron odi omo anim eye process as an advisor ye bibia ye ya the right did you nema wo enei contract no it is still in existence e wo kwa ye ntwem omo demand diska ye sika so aka wo mo ho the right no krani nyame anim die wey any SMLD no enema cost into $500 million no they are demanding it aside that no they didn't cancel aboka $140 million and for 140 akoka 500 no director and almost sika 1.4 no e won tax ya e was so mutua tax no so ama director calculate this money na ye koi anase ye buy wa bra Ghana Revenue Authority all the institutions ya ye betim da taxes ni nyina no no kra nyame anim ni according to investigators no almost say SML deal we no eye plan work Mr. Ken Ofori Atta e share that na dem e share ye wa bra na do win election wie ye no e no share to ho say obey finance minister obey sade we e dia capture ye petroleum sector na ye sika e fa ho no wa gisika no Ediama on in Crawford.
Anna, na Jumo share so no nyina no ba mu.
Mo nti adewe e kaime asemba ko a Mr. Hobson Adoye na oka about Japade deal no say Ken Ofori Atta ne enkrofobia plan say omo pese omo fa omo na Japade nyina no omo take it over. The better anya sa anka be den na finance minister ye you 3 weeks pepe na 3 weeks in kura no after that wo hwe nkra time but 3 weeks or say me the deal be ever on board. The better finance minister yes had you no GR boss or when Timan can wait because he was under the control. Next person or buy no according to journalists Manassas or investigative journalists he again had to be at least for credible or say GR penny for no ebeye Ken Ofori Atta the slaves intina or control mo they are no pay enombeye they know say deal no enya papa but unia no ade bekasa and these are some of the reasons here Nana decided say Ken Ofori Atta onyini free ho because Ken Ofori Atta boni ana wadi no uyini free ho asembesi
no Ken Ofori Atta di boni
mo
2024 yakoto abetia NPP
of course
ama NPP efraban mu
yeah
is a NDC na atake over
sure
the OSP amanfo yin so say ono so obegina wa no aka ne nsem saa no san ko Ghana fo abamu ya bu
the right away
Ghana fo ya give it up
and you said yeah give it up me but give it up on OSP my baba bu won kire say same Nana na appoint Ken Ofori Atta no Nana ya and appoint OSP
yeah
and OSP the first person by Martin Amiduka try say Adjuman ontimi wa resign because Nana a mother serpent of corruption and near my ekoso no ontimi and a kisia jabe by one you say obetimi no ade ache ya ye hu adwuma bi a woye ade ache no be press conference ye hu se ogisika bi di amaye enei o share bo se oba recover se sika ne dia ba how can we trust him director baby a ye gina nei the OSP betimi ayam ya gina di nyina ne se OSP ne abainin kase opese okọ US na okotena ho kopim se odi Ken Ofori Atta beba na okofa Ken Ofori Atta ba it is as simple as this director
na se muhia Ken Ofori Atta
director na wadwe ya wo say US for ba o ba from ha FBI for ebe so aga na mrantie bi koye no na enompo enye major national issue eye minor issue se kaya o minister bi ene di boni ene wo wie no wafiri krom ha kwatena my for so do you think e dey na kombeye
enti we say no so e dey say bi am so mi hu ni say bi aban no so ka ho
director of course
ke bi a president atiesim no akache OSP ni say OSP Ghana for kasa
of course
sa NDC abama hwe na Ken Ofori Atta no kosai ni case no kosai abon say 2028 Ghana for bu ya ba be fum
sure
eno nam so na amanfo to abama mo mu ni say Ghana for no ai akufo de ne nkofo wiesika ntom beto abetia san nkofo no mu de NDC aba no mu de NDC aba nti ai John Mahama no so ama ne ho anya ha no am pressure OSP no a
director Mampani John Mahama at this moment or not any say dijaku ni team was OSP ni there yenim dada say he was appointed under administration I say omoya konfo
but me mama so do baby anam suro no
director I
so obey din sa on kasa o
I agree
but we say once pa
enti enei say OSP no so yin firi ha onyin firi because OSP or play mind games assembly aba na ye pese yoko ana attorney general ebi a omko hwehwe ma ade be china no OSP say my invite ni pa no my office me na me investigation into what a lot of cases enei OSP akọje sansem ne dia town ne ase it is under investigations e won the office here yoko fo ntimi ensign ka say ginger chair the same issue they want to investigate Attorney General ntimi ka say Ghana Police Service Department asem we ginger chair mun ko investigate because OSP say we investigate
na OSP ana na won hand over docket no pamma Attorney General na Attorney General enye segment and Attorney General no so the same thing.
Director, I'm shocked because Deputy Attorney General Justice Ramsay Bekatra say Oma Trekata aku OSP ho about 4 times say on release Ken Ofori Atta docket and fama home because a Attorney General kwa and a bit my request ma Ken Ofori Atta bakrum ha OSP entimi and Ken Ofori Atta mfanema. Director, e bass ha no ye twen say OSP Oma say Oma Trekata bro 4 times papa ne krataa brɛ yɛ na yɛn kɔtwe ne mmra director ebesi ne OSP ntimi papa ne krataa nkɔi ansa na SML expose yi so aba abɔnten enti sɛ wonim sɛ na SML expose we nyina wɔ hɔ a ugusu yɛ ho investigation ɛna wɔn se fa ne docket ne brɛ yɛ yɛ bɛtwe ne de naba adan na wɔn fa docket ne mɔ yɛ wo investigations wɔn de ne beduru Ghana wi a questions na wo se ɔmmra ne bisa no the opportunities there minti saa asɛm na se o ɛdeɛ na OSP all hide sɛdeɛ amanfa bɛka sɛ ɔboa oni kenofrata docket bia wɔ hɔ ɔnyɛ kenofrata ne nkrataa nto hɔ a yɛbɛtumi agyina so de abɔ ne kwadu enti atɔre yɛ adobata wonte saa asɛm no
Nabio
NDC fo bi sɛ kisi agyabi OSP onye kenofrata docket ya o betime agina so ebia
eno ne Ghana fo
Director Kelvin Taylor eka bi Kelvin Taylor said it on authority
ne say Kelvin Taylor onye NDC ni
ana make say NDC for de no kwada nchen Kelvin Taylor a media person nti NDC for de ne danchen a Kelvin Taylor a media person ono so ka bi say Ken Ofori Atta docket Attorney General hwehwa onya kire say OSP oni docket bia ho
ene yenyina so na enkote Kelvin Taylor na
okay yeah
adi ebia kamu a bonitew ma me na enkote Kelvin Taylor se enko so a
ma me bonitew na yenko at this stage OSP no President John Mahama with immediate effect on direct ensem bi emfri ni office emfa nkoma yokoni Attorney General especially
Amo se anka ongu ne sector no kwa ongu ade no sa special prosecutor wan no ongu no
ya ode yen komra
yes ukọ ne fie ho a asojafo egu ho no
director na me fe no so very short
one OSP fie ho a asojafo ne enkofo ewe eka o man no bo OSP ho no
wouldn't say OSP your man tight security President John Mahama say kisi ajabi epia enkrabonten so street na offer so no ye block street ni nyina obi amfa ho but President John Mahama epia kwai na onam so no who say cars ni ni die hia but OSP kwai obefa so no ye block obi amfa kwan ni asemo the right ni fie ni gate ano soldiers ya ejina ho 247 on free ho obia soldiers 4 any dinachi or tikamoti hill they work with him they spend a lot on his security eche obia wabra nya infasfo bia emfiri so I agree yengu ni office
quick one yenko tie sama Kelvin Taylor ene nkomo a wadi ede afa sa case we ho quick one yenko
mibusa eye kisi agabin say when did he actually start investigating SML anamebwa ehona be wu sekisi agabin they aided Ken Ofori Atta. They knew they wasted time. If they didn't aid, they wasted time because they knew what they were doing. See, Mamencho Adewi, time Ben was starting investigating SML. Ken Ofori Atta to be free Ghana Koya. He could not stop Ken Ofori Atta from leaving because someone starting investigations at a particular time. Then Ken Ofori Atta wasn't supposed to leave the country. This is January 2024. 2024 January, OSP probes SML and GRA deal. 2024 January, and I'll start investigations. So if you started investigations in 2024 January, how were you able to sit there aloof and allow Ken Ofori Atta to leave the country without stopping him and saying that you are the main suspect? Because that time you had started probing, you had started investigation. So it means you knew that Ken Ofori Atta was guilty from 2024. Because there was no way you started the SML deal without knowing that the finance minister was the integral person in this investigation. From January 2024, you sat down, you took your eye off, you allowed Ken Ofori Atta to put things in order. After 2024, we entered 2025, Ken Ofori Atta left the country. You sat, you did not issue anything. You did not put any ban on Ken Ofori Atta from leaving this country. You sat there, allowed Ken Ofori Atta to leave. The moment he left, you told us that you are telling the Interpol to put a red alert on him. He's a fugitive from justice. You are lying. For a whole year, you sat down, you watched the guy, you had the dockets. My investigations even shows that docket, it has been with you. You started the investigations, you knew everything about Ken Ofori Atta's involvement in the SML. Everything was pointing to Ken Ofori Atta, but you decided to take your eye off because you wanted to create an exit for him to go. The moment he leaves, then you can come and make noise that I want to catch him, I want to catch him, I want to catch him. You knew what you were doing. 2024 January, and I will be a GRA SML deal also, and I will start to probe here. The OSP is a liar. This man, we cannot trust this guy. Hey, if this guy is still the OSP, we should forget about the fight against corruption. We should forget about it. Nobody is going to jail from the OSP's department. Nobody is going to go to jail. This guy is protecting people who have offended us, people who have stolen from us. How can you tell me in 2024 you open probe into SML deal and you never question Ken Ofori Atta? You wanted to tell me all the way January 2024 you didn't know Ken Ofori Atta was the lead in this criminality. Ken Ofori Atta left after a year, January 2025. Aban Sisaya and also Ken Ofori Atta should leave because he didn't believe that the NDC, they were going to win the elections. If the NPP had won, this investigation would have been a piece of shit to you. So when the election changed, that was when Ken Ofori Atta got the sign that he needs to exit because the SML deal, the new government, they were going to come after it. Now, a buying for front air beshishim. So you created a window for Ken Ofori Atta. You took your eye off the window. You let him escape. Then later came and said, you are looking for Ken Ofori Atta. Where is he? Now they told you that, oh, he's gone to America. He's sick. No. He needs to come back. 1 year, you allowed this guy to escape. Today, you are telling us that you need time. Hand over a document and investigation with 2 of your investigators. You said no. And the Okasa 2 hours. You could not tell us in our face that the investigation in its current state, you want to give it to the Attorney General. What is stopping you? Because you are protecting Ken Ofori Atta. Because you know what you are doing. Because that is what you are using the office for. And this again, you see, we should investigate the OSP. I am telling you, a special team should be put together to investigate the office of the special prosecutor. This man, his biggest fear is to leave office. Yeah? And your OSP office now, it is what to follow next. Because you see, whatever he has done there, the moment that title is taken from him, the people who want to speak will speak, and he knows it's not going to end him well. So what he's doing is that he's protecting himself. It's not that office. Because right now, what is protecting him, whatever he has done, which he knows, whatever is protecting him is that title, the special prosecutor. His fear is not leaving that office. His fear is that that title is taken away and that everyone can come in and say, this is my encounter. This was my encounter with this guy. This is what happened. That is his fear. So what he's doing now is stalling. He's stalling every single thing. He's making sure the office does not move. He's going to use that his influence to stop everything. And the more he keeps that office, stalls everything, slows the pace, he still keeps his office as a special prosecutor. The guy is basically buying time for Ken Ofori Atta to get his citizenship rights in America. That is what he's doing. He's saying everybody should go fuck themselves in Ghana. He doesn't have nothing to give you. In fact, Okasano, Okase, Okacha Attorney General say, the document, Okase, the docket had not been bound yet. Meaning, document na Obusano, de on kikansi ni wiye. Attorney General so anka say, kesi ni wiye. Ansana de abreme. Osi baby wadrubiano fabreme. The question here is, Adentina Kisie Jabein cannot give the docket an investigative report to the man. You can still give the docket an investigative report to the Attorney General and still go ahead and charge these 6 or 5 people. Why can't he do that? Because you handed over the docket to the Attorney General, handed over the investigative report, does not stop you from charging these people. You can still go ahead and charge them. So why are you not handing over the investigative report to the Attorney General? Why? Because I didn't say, so what the report to the Attorney General or the docket to the man, that's how the investigators can. You still have investigators and reporters, prosecutors there who can work with you for you to charge him, all of them in November. So what is stopping you? Because the moment you give the docket to Attorney General, he cannot stop you from charging these 5 people or 6 people. It is a year. This guy is a liar. Nobody should take him serious. Memo be engineering the $50.5 million. And I call we are on office. $50.5 million. And Ubusan say $50.5 million. No. Why pa na what did not go court? Akase we are gonna seek I did not go 10 years. On to me be that. Charles Bisu a real ground me vanity. Charles Bisu is an anto. We are talking about Amishadai. We are talking about Kofinti. We are talking about Kenedamwa. We are talking about Ken Ofori Atta. Remember, recently your court say Ken Ofori Atta Assembly court is all monkombra 1 month time. Assembly enkayo court is all monkorom kwaye documentations be omunchro omudien omu defense to say omudien den famra na judge ni ready. He said Jabin is fooling you people. He has been fooling you people for years. And he has been using you people. And the MBN say we still can't see it. Kisie Jabin who Ghana for some way Jimmy. And you see, we have allowed this to happen because we buy his nonsense. A whole attorney general comes to stand on TV and tell you, sir, and you know, I have my prosecutor here. I'll give it to him, and the baton will go to him, and then he'll review, and he'll bring it to me. And then I'll look at it and I'll review. And in November, thereabout, I will chat. But you know, give me time. That guy is not adding any sense of urgency to this nonsense. And he keeps telling us, oh, you need to be very careful. That is why we want the Attorney General to help you. Maybe there are some things, oversight in here. That is why we want you to give the Attorney General the document and your investigators to be part. Anything the Attorney General know. You are not the only office that can look through documents and understand. So you telling us to say, you need to be extremely careful. No? You are getting a second sieve. You are getting a second session that can also look through and say, okay, everything is right, but we think this is wrong. So we, from our angle, let's add this. That is what the Attorney General wants to do. So you telling us you want to be careful. How careful can you be? Because the Attorney General coming in is you being super careful. Why don't you want to give the docket to him? You are a liar. Nobody in Ghana should trust Kisie Jabin. Today, Ken Ofori Atta being in America and not coming home to come and defend what we call his stewardship. No? It is this guy creating the window for him to stay out of the country. He knows. And you see, he has been playing this game for a long time. And you see what happens. And they say, pressure on the bar, pressure on the back form. He will get his way out. He knows what press conference way acha 2 days he'll go back to his bulletproof car. He'll go and enjoy his office. He may say this guy knows Ghanaians. We read him watch it. And you see him like this, he can be in that office and sometimes he sits back and looks through the system. I know media, he does not like me one bit. Saying come to Ghana and got a charge to me so. I know. Make a Taylor. Senka Ghana na metia anka wape some allegation be there to me so say maka semetia no me gunu wufin and that I've said something against some act into hey you if anybody sees him he should bring him to me and that in Ghana uncle nyanko be anka Ghana na metina me adwuma we a anka odi bibia to me so that is their strategy. But we are going according to what you yourself told us. And we as a people, we need to understand Kisie Jabin is bad news. Now, what I want to tell Ghanaians is say that office, say free office now, we need to find another avenue. Eh? If we are going to rely on Kisie Jabin to fight corruption, to bring Ken Ofori Atta to Ghana, and then ahema asofo enkwara mpenye Jimmy. I am telling you on authority. Akoye Kasa for 2.5 hours. He could not tell Ghana for say, I want to give the docket to the Attorney General. He didn't do it. Omubusan said, timelines, they say, who is saying? A bad time ban, who is able to me, Ken Ofori Atta from a Juma away, Attorney General. Also, yen to me, timelines are somewhere. If we say, in the first place, the final decision is not going to be taken by, or no, it's not going to be taken by Attorney General. It is going to be taken by the Americans. But if today, you give the docket to the Attorney General, the final decision can be taken just tomorrow. But he is telling you he cannot give timelines. Why can't he give timelines? Because if today the Attorney General hands over the OSP hands over the docket and investigations to the Attorney General, then we can tell the Attorney General that activate this within 24 hours. Activate it in a month. Activate it in 2 days. Now, you have not handed over the document to the Attorney General. You are also telling us there, you cannot tell us timelines, meaning you are deliberately holding on to this to prolong the timeline. Because the earlier you hand over the docket, the investigation report, the shorter it becomes for us to bring Ken Ofori Atta back home. We have not taken our first step. How do we know when we are going to, how far we can walk? The first step we need to take is to hand over to Attorney General. Then Attorney General takes the second step. Now, when it gets to the US, the Americans, that is where we know the third step is. Now, you have not taken the first step. For us to get to the second step, you are telling us you can't give timelines. It means it is deliberate. It means it is deliberate. You are deliberately halting or slowing this pace of prosecuting Ken Ofori Atta. The timelines, it's in your hand. And can then catch a gun and say, baby, why investigations said, Bruno? O person the Attorney General. Na momuno, who investigations there? O person will court November. Until what day you are still going to court. Attorney General should take whatever you have done so far. But you are a liar. You are a liar. You are telling us to say, oh, it is not up to you. It is not up to the Attorney General. It is up to the Americans. Leave the Americans for the Attorney General. Leave the Americans for the Attorney General. Because when Attorney General gets what he needs, he will deal with the Americans. It is not up to you to decide whether the Americans are going to work fast or not. You do not determine the timelines for the Americans. Americans work with their own time. But the issue we have on the table now is take the step, give the document, and let the Attorney General take another step. Why are you not doing it? You are a liar. Now, those people who are quick to say he should try Ken Ofori Atta in absentia, you people are even creating more room for this OSP to help Ken Ofori Atta live in America. Because you see, I heard Martin Kwebu saying that if Ken Ofori Atta is not coming, try him in absentia. The moment you do that, Ken Ofori Atta will ask for asylum. He will seek for asylum and he's never going to come to Ghana. Because the moment you go to court and try Ken Ofori Atta and say he's a criminal, he will tell the American government that you want to persecute him. He did not do anything wrong. He's seeking for asylum and he will get it. So trying Ken Ofori Atta in absentia is the worst thing to do. You need to go through the process that has been set. Ghana, America have a collaboration. We can extradite, they can extradite. Why can't we go through the central authority to make sure that we have exhausted all avenues? Because there are avenues that we can exhaust that can bring Ken Ofori Atta to Ghana. Why are we going to that extent of trying him in absentia for him to take that opportunity to seek for asylum? It is you people are now enabling this guy to help Ken Ofori Atta escape justice, escape prosecution. And this is what you people do. We are quick to help the criminals to escape. We are quick to help these criminals to escape. Why should we try Ken Ofori Atta in absentia? There are other steps we can take. And those steps, we have not exhausted it. So if we have not exhausted it, why are we not taking the steps? I expect you people sitting on TV. All you guys say you are lawyers to tell the OSP, say, OSP, what is really stopping you from handing over the docket? Let us try that channel and see if it doesn't work. If that channel doesn't work, then we can try Ken Ofori Atta in absentia. Now, there are so many avenues that we can exhaust. We have not even started. We have not even made an attempt. The OSP is sitting and saying, I won't do it. And we are sitting in Ghana saying, we should try Ken Ofori Atta. What will we get when Ken Ofori Atta is in America and we are spending our money in the court? We need that guy in Ghana court to answer questions. Nobody is going to try Ken Ofori Atta in absentia. Because the moment we do that, then we are helping OSP to help Ken Ofori Atta to escape prosecution. Ken Ofori Atta wants a reason to seek for asylum. He needs a reason. And the moment you give him that reason, hallelujah, he's done. He's not coming. The Americans and Ghanaians, the Americans already know the route we can take legally to bring Ken Ofori Atta to Ghana. Why are we not taking it? Why is this man nonsense talk and all this comedy on TV? 2.5 hours. One can say, the press conference now in the first, and no sabe read the questions we're asking him. This comedian did not answer any of the questions. How can we allow these things to happen in Ghana? Nobody is speaking in this country. This guy is still in that office. He's scared to be prosecuted if he leaves the office. This is crazy. Charles Bissiou. There is a video of Charles Bissiou taking money. This guy cannot even prosecute Charles Bissiou. Charles Bissiou, MPP you for now or your anto. Corona boy no endu Ken Ofori Atta. We saw evidence of Charles Bissiou taking bribe. Charles Bissiou, he took bribe. He took bribe. He did what? He took bribe. You looked at all these things. You still cannot prosecute Charles Bissiou. You are a waste of human being. You are a waste of an OSP. Now then, Americans, no. Omo pe Ghana for boys na chi omo no. Omo American can say, you know something, let's try them in absentia. Why didn't they do that? And then FBI and Ghana, mutual assistance. You people help them to extradite those boys to America to go and try them in America. Because it is important you bring the culprit, the suspect, to face the law. And then Americans, they say, the people are not Americans. Why don't you stay in America and try them in absentia? They could have done that. Why didn't they do that? But the Americans have this agreement with Ghana. They can fly to Ghana, work with the Ghana Security Agency, pick those people and take them back. Why can't we do the same? It is because the OSP is shielding Ken Ofori Atta. You cannot trust this guy. And Americans are going to try a yes Ankofo in America in absentia. I didn't know man sir. But the Americans knew there's a route, there is a way, there's an avenue. They need to exhaust it, and they exhausted it and made sure they got the boys. Why don't you want to exhaust that avenue? I don't know, OSP, one person will be using